Welcome everybody to Daily Census Explained, where we explain the story in more detail, but in a fun way, so you can know the backstory and how the inspiration came for each episode and each chapter. Thank you guys for listening.
Welcome back, everyone, to Daily Census Explained. This is chapter 16. Everybody's talking. So we start out here. Rivera, he's enjoying his new position still, maybe a little too much. And, it's a bit suspicious that maybe he organized all of these things to become the CEO, but maybe a bit too obvious. So I wrote him off as like a true suspect a while back. Not that he can't come back, but I doubt he's actually high on the list here. But where we come in is that Rivera and Samuels are conspiring against Scotty Allen. Mm-hmm. So he's too much of a threat to Rivera. He knows there's still connections to Snipes, and again, just insecure about it. So he's got to get rid of him. And they are talking about Samuel still has police connections. They're trying to find anything they can on him, but he seems like he is a clean whistle. He does everything right. His personal life, his professional life is all clean. He doesn't have any real dirt that anyone can find to dig up. So so Rivera's kind of pissed off about this, but he's telling him, I don't care. Everyone's got something. Find it. Make it, find it, whatever. Get us something about it. And we find out they're even using some hospital funds to do some of this research. And so they're just really determined. And I thought there were a couple interesting lines in this conversation he's having. And it just shows where his beliefs are. But he's talking about how liberals have allowed blacks to have too much pride and that they need to be bumped back down, know their place. And so we knew he was a racist, but now it's really driven home.
And the funny thing is, he's Latino.
Right.
He really thinks he's white.
Right. And thinks that he is above any of that kind of judgment.
Oh, that's wild.
And it's sad, and it's been years. It's been over 2 years, and he still feels threatened by this man who is clean as a whistle, that all he does is work. He doesn't bother anyone, but yet he is adamant about getting him out of that position.
And it shows whatever Scotty does, it ain't going to matter.
Right. No, they're out for him, and nothing's going to dissuade them. And it's unfortunate that Scotty didn't really pick up on this and go and get a job somewhere else.
See what I'm showing, how naive he is?
Yeah.
He thought, and he's been doing it for 2 years now, nothing wrong, working hard, working late, staying home, not bothering anybody. There's nothing you can have on him, and it still doesn't matter.
Yeah. And at some point, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but at some point he even says, I don't want to back down. I don't want to give them the satisfaction of being able to get rid of me just because they don't like me and because I'm a black man, that they, that they're racist. And I can see that point of view of not wanting to back away from something. I mean, the job where the person pushed me out, I was there for 4 years, and 2.5 of them were because I just was not going to let this guy push me around.
See, that's pride.
But he worked so hard.
But see, pride to get you every time.
Yeah, there's good and bad to it both.
You just got to leave.
Yeah.
Why would you be in a situation, environment that's hostile to you or
unhealthy.
Not? Yeah, it's not healthy. You're not going to be able to achieve your career goals with it.
Yeah.
So that's to me, that's a fool. Just leave.
Yeah.
It's more than one job there. I would just leave. I'm not going to sit there and be miserable for nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. But I see where the pride got the better of him there.
But that's why I did it. You know what I mean? I had to have that yin and yang. I want to make sure the people still thought to me, he's gullible.
Yeah.
He really thinks that if he only do good, everybody will see it and leave him alone.
Right.
But they're never going to leave you alone.
No. And, the people who don't have the power to not hassle him see it, but they don't have any kind of real power to do anything.
And the board of directors don't
so.
give two damns about it.
Right.
They don't even know who he is.
Right. So, that they are definitely plotting, and to the point where they're willing to seemingly to fabricate something to get rid of him. Not just to get rid of him, like they want him to to go out potentially arrested or something.
Yeah, they want to
Like
make an
they're-
example out of him.
Yeah, so they're looking to not just get rid of him, but like you say, make an example and put the fear of God in other people.
Yeah,
You know,
who think they could come up like that.
Exactly. So now a little twist to this is that they were speaking a little too freely and didn't really check their surroundings. And turns out that Johnny was behind a great big like laundry cart there and heard the whole conversation. So he's going to go warn Scotty as to what he heard, but he can't resist. He's got to stop and tell his girls first about what he heard.
The tea is boiling.
Yeah, and that pot is about to pop, so he's got to go and tell.
So that's the first thing he did. Ooh, girls, I got some tea for you. What did it say? What you got to tell me now?
Remember we had Julian do it. My son-in-law did Johnny. He did not feel comfortable. I always do it to the guys that will be super masculine. I make them play I let them play the gay dude, man. It was so funny, but he did a great job. My son-in-law did a great job.
Yeah, the voice acting is fun.
He did. Ooh, girl, let me tell you.
Well, and
So maybe he wants some pussy. The girl like, what the hell is pussy? You know what pussy is.
I didn't know. I was educated by this as well.
My wife, I know because of her.
Really?
She told me a story of somebody at her job.
Yeah, I had a coworker who wanted to ride home, and on the way home, he was asking if he was selling himself cheap. And I was like, "What do you want?" He was like, I'd be selling my pussy." I was like, "What is that?" He was like, "Boy pee, boy pussy." I was like, "Oh Lord."
I never heard that shit before, but I thought it was so funny. Like
Lord.
I got put it in a book.
I think maybe I'm too old, but I have never heard of that expression before.
We're all around that same age
So
range.
I had to
so,
explain it in the book what pussy was.
Yep.
Because my editor, my auntie, she was like, what the hell is pussy?
Well, we all have been educated now. And so I'm not going to necessarily use the term, but
I hope not,
I now
bro.
know what it is. So.
If you didn't, to each his own.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Johnny, he had that information, and after he told his girls, he felt bad. He was, even though that was his boyfriend, he let me go tell Scotty what's going on. So
Well, that's what I wanted. Johnny is like the comedy in the story, but he was also one that was true enough and tried to protect Scotty when he knew that something was done wrong. Forget all the other stuff. He was really there for him and supported and tried to look out for him when no one else did. When everybody turned their back on Scotty, it was him that tried to protect him, him that tried to tell him what was going on. He tried.
Yeah.
He tried. You know what I mean? Even though his boyfriend would have been mad at him for doing that, he didn't care. He like, no, that's wrong what they doing to him.
Well, and so that leads right into Scotty comes in right after he finishes telling
the
his
girls,
coworkers. Yeah. And the first thing he does is go to tell him. Now, there's a little ulterior motive. He's thinking like maybe he might.
He tried to
reward
shot. He
me
shot his
for-
shot at him. He shot his shot. Scotty's quickly shut that down.
Yes.
But
not
But he
professional.
does want to tell him, and so that's that'll come up in the next chapter. Is that conversation? So thanks for joining us this week, and next week we will get into that conversation with Johnny and Scotty.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us for this chapter of Daily Census Explained, and we'll see you in the next chapter.